Hi, this is Mike Brown, owner of Death Wish Coffee Company. Welcome to Fueled by Deathcast.
I love Jeff, but sweet and hot. Whoop, Mr. Motorama coffee.
Death Wish Coffee presents Fueled by Deathcast, the world's strongest podcast. With your hosts, the incredible Jeff and the amazing D-Man.
Welcome everybody to Fueled by Death Show. We're back to normal programming this week. So,
What's normal? Define normal, Jeff.
okay, well, you're gonna make fun of me and I'm gonna be sad. Right?
Get it together, Jeff.
That's kind of normal. This is companion show to episode 83 of the podcast, and we'll get into that a little bit later in the show. And I am the incredible Jeff.
Do you think it's a confidence builder that we say our names in this way, in this manner, over and over again?
I need confidence, so yeah.
Yeah. I wake up every morning in the mirror. It says, "I am the amazing D-Man."
Yes, he is.
I am the amazing D-Man. Until I can say it with confidence, I don't leave the house. Until I'm like, I am the amazing D-Man.
So that's why some days you don't come to work. Oh, man.
Wait,
But-
I thought I was supposed to make fun of you.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Darn it.
I thought you said this was going to be a normal show, damn it.
It's not normal already. We'd love it if you followed us over on social media, guys. Our favorite social media of choice is Instagram because we get to show you lots of cool photos of Death Wish Coffee and some of the other fun stuff that we do, like my cat and his dog, and all sorts of other random stuff. But we also do Facebook and Twitter. It's really easy to follow us. I am at Jeff Wish Coffee.
And I am at Death Wish Dustin.
It's that easy. And if this is your first time joining the show, here's the deal. All you got to do, share this show and comment at least once in those comments during the show, and we're giving away a mug. And because it's been so freaking hot outside, we're giving away Old Man Winter.
Yeah, maybe it'll cool down the temperature a few degrees here.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's been hot everywhere, by the way.
Yeah.
Not just here, just kind of around the world. Maybe that global warming thing.
But yeah, no.
Let's not make this political.
It's summer, and if you guys don't know, we do clean up the warehouse from time to time, and we find older mugs. And we found this guy, and I mean, we came out with this last winter, obviously, as our Old Man Winter mug. And I felt, how cool would that be to release that in the height of July?
The
right?
shape and the glaze on this mug alone cools me down at least 5 degrees.
For sure. And we'll sign the bottom of it and send it right out to one lucky winner. Once again, all you got to do, share this feed, drop at least one comment in those comments, and we're going to pick one lucky winner as soon as this show is over. And I would be remiss if I was not about to thank our good friend, Brock Powell.
BrockVox.com.
Brock Powell is the voice actor behind all the voices on this show and 1,000 other out in the world. Seriously, go to his website, follow all of his social media. He's doing some incredible stuff out there in the world, and we love Brock. And I'm not sure if he's going to be there this weekend, but this weekend is one of the biggest pop culture weekends in the world. This weekend is San Diego Comic-Con. Are any of you guys going?
How do we get there?
We've almost went. We almost went this year. We do have some connections out there. In fact, if you're fans of the show, you know that we work with companies like Sideshow Collectibles and that type of thing.
I pointed to that like they can see it.
Yeah. There is we also know a lot of comic book creators and that kind of thing. And so I would almost wager money that next year we're going to go to San Diego. It just hasn't been in the cards yet, but I've always wanted to go. We, as a company, have went to New York Comic-Con a couple years now. In fact, last year. Yeah. Last year, we were the official coffee of New York Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. So I know New York is getting as crazy as San Diego, but I hear so many stories about how crazy San Diego Comic-Con actually can be.
Well, there's something so special about being so close to LA and Hollywood
Yeah.
and all that buzz going on out there. What do you think they'll announce this year, Jeff?
If I were to guess, we're going to get a couple. We already had E3, so video games are off the table. We're probably going to get some interesting television type Netflix maybe type shows. I'm looking at you. What We Do in the Shadows, probably the Netflix series. We're probably going to get a tease of that.
That'd be great.
Probably going to get a tease of Stranger Things season 3.
Oh.
Maybe even a tease of that brand new prequel to Game of Thrones that they're hinting at as well.
Oh my God, dude, you're getting me so pumped.
Yeah.
I want to be there.
And then on the movie side of it, obviously DC and Marvel will have some pretty big presences. I bet you will at least get rumblings of Avengers 4. Probably nothing, super teasy, but we'll get that. Maybe the next Joker standalone film, the Batman standalone film that are
Who are
that
they
coming
saying
down
they're going to get?
Jared Leto. It's not that they're getting him. Not Jared Leto. I'm sorry. Joaquin Phoenix. They got him, and he's gonna be.
He's perfect.
Gonna do the Joker.
He's perfect.
So we might get to see some of that. But there's gonna be tons of surprises. That's what they do. They wait. Even Disney, Lucasfilms, they wait for those little surprises that they're just gonna push out to you at San Diego Comic-Con. Are any of you guys gonna be there? If you are, make sure you bring Death Wish coffee and stay caffeinated, and take some pictures for us. Well, I would love to see the pandemonium that is San Diego Comic-Con.
What I need. New Punisher series.
New Punisher series. Well,
have they talked about that at all?
They have talked about it at all. In fact, I don't know if you know this, Mr. John Bernthal, who is the Punisher, is actually filming right down the street from us right now. They're filming in Albany, New York, for some pickup stuff for the Punisher season 2.
I want to find him and kiss him in the mouth. I love that series so
Get ready,
much.
Punisher. It's coming.
Mwah.
Secret code unlocked. Discount of death.
This week, if you type in the super secret mega awesome code, Dean, Jeff, spell it,
DEAN.
that will nail you a whopping 20% off of the Jack Ankerson Artist Series set until Wednesday, July 25th. That's a giant deal, Jeff. To begin with, it's $29.99 as it stands.
Right.
You get a pound of coffee in a customized bag.
Yep.
You get a signature print.
Yep.
In a signature tin.
Yep.
And it comes in a signature box.
Yep.
And then you get 20% off.
It's the best deal we can give you guys. For anybody who's a fan of art out there, this is for you because this guy, Jack Ankerson, is not only an incredible artist, he created this piece specifically for this set, so it's Death Wish coffee in his artistic style. So that's collectible for any artist lover out there. And for any lover of Death Wish coffee, this is a super limited piece of collectible memorabilia of Death Wish coffee that when they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah, that's it.
20% off until next Wednesday. All you got to do is type in Dean. It's that easy.
Science!
All right, D-Man, science this week. We are staying on Earth.
You were talking about the guard, the guard, the God particle earlier.
I was.
Apparently, it was too boring for y'all.
I wouldn't say it was so boring. It's just okay. Full disclosure: if you haven't seen the article out there, we've always been looking for this thing called the God particle, which has to deal with neutrinos, and we think we found it 4 billion light years away.
It's insane.
And there's a lot of cool information. And it wasn't that it was boring; it was that we don't have all the pieces of information in place yet.
So when we do get those pieces of information,
We'll definitely be
we'll
talking
make
about
sure
it.
to tell you. But we think we found the beginning,
Yeah,
Which is-
beginning of everything.
which is strange. I don't believe it.
We'll
We'll get into it. Anyways, Jeff, what do you have for us for science
Well,
today?
I thought, again, we love going to space because there's always such fun things happening in the realm of our universe. But there's also fun things that we find about our own origins right on this planet. And we found recently in Greece the oldest known fragment of Homer's Odyssey on a clay tablet. And this is a picture of it right here. The clay tablet was found near the Temple of Zeus, which is in the ancient city of Olympia in southern Greece. While only fragments of this temple remain, there are other temples in the vicinity that are modeled after this one. And in fact, this one right here, the Temple of Hera II, is said to have been completely copied after the Temple of Zeus. So this is the best example of what the Temple of Zeus would have looked like that we have for real. But we do know what the Temple of Zeus looked like back in the day because of the descriptions, the lengthy descriptions that the Greeks and the Romans left behind.
I think of two things right away. First of all, could you imagine walking into a building like
oh
this?
my gosh.
Second of all, could you imagine being a person from this time who has never walked into any building like this before and walked into a building like this.
Yeah.
It must have been so breathtaking. You had to believe in anything that they were telling you at that point.
This was the house of the gods.
This is real.
Yeah, this is where their gods lived. And in fact, the Temple of Zeus, which looked like this is an artist representation of it, was gorgeous. It stood 43 feet tall and was adorned with ivory and gold across every pillar and every edifice.
Wow.
Huge murals and sculpture reliefs done by the greatest artisans of the time were done in the Temple of Zeus. And the fabled statue of Zeus stood in there. That's what this looked like. Also adorned with gold and ivory, as tall as the temple was. This was, we know for a fact this existed because it was on the money of Greece at the time, and it was also talked about incessantly in their history, their writings, that kind of thing. Unfortunately, it was destroyed in the 5th century A.D. It is considered one of the 7 wonders of the world, of the ancient world, not the modern world. The 7 wonders of the ancient world. So I did a little digging. I knew a couple of them. I didn't know all 7. And I thought it would be fun to go down all 7 of them before we finish up talking about the discovery of the clay tablet. Starting with the lighthouse at Alexandria. The lighthouse at Alexandria, again, this is just an artist depiction, was considered one of the largest man-made structures of the ancient world at 330 feet tall. Remains were found on the Nile River Delta on the western banks, where it actually survived until 1480, but it toppled many times over the years over many different earthquakes and wear and tear and that kind of thing. The remains that have been found underwater of this lighthouse are going to be turned into an underwater museum off the coast of Egypt.
Oh, that's so cool.
Which is very, very cool. In fact, they just started work on that last year in 2017.
I don't get how they built this.
Incredible, right?
I mean,
330 feet tall.
It's one thing to make a building that tall, but out in the middle of the water, how did they get the stone out there?
Incredible. They were very good at creating boats that could sustain so much weight, like these huge flotillas that basically had Greek cities on them, you know, like with like pillars and all that kind of stuff.
These people were so motivated. I mean, it had to have been some sort of time of peace, right? Because you can't be putting all your resources into putting buildings like this together if you're dumping your money into armies.
You do have to remember, though, that some of these armies were the biggest in the world, so they were at war, but they weren't getting really too much blowback.
Right.
Because they were conquering the world at the time.
Wow.
so
insane.
It's okay. So that's one of them. Another 7th wonder of the ancient world would be the Colossus of Rhodes. Now, there is very little left of this. This is the fabled Colossus that stood at the archway there. It was depicting the Greek god Helios. It was supposedly erected around 280 BC and stood 108 feet tall. That's just about the same height as the Statue of Liberty, from the Statue of Liberty's feet to her crown, not including the base.
Yeah. Wow.
It's very, very big as well. It collapsed during an earthquake in 226 BC. So it only existed for a handful of years before, unfortunately. But it was an achievement of the world. And again, you want to talk about people on ships going under the legs of this thing, never ever seeing anything even remotely like that.
Yeah, pretty much being like a forest person.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing you've seen is tree huts and tents.
Yeah.
And you come up to this thing, it's got to be completely life-altering.
Yeah, incredible. Another ancient wonder was the mausoleum at Halicarnassus. And again, this is just a model. This is not the actual thing, but it was a huge mausoleum that stood on a pillar like that and then had a pyramid top with a giant chariot and horses adorning at the very center of the top of it. I believe I have a photo of the ruins of the mausoleum. This is what is left of the mausoleum today. But it was a tomb built between 353 and 350 BC in what is today modern Turkey. It was approximately 148 feet tall, and the sides, all 4 sides, were adorned with huge, huge relief sculptures done by the greatest Greek sculpture artists of the time. So that alone made it a wonder, because you were just seeing this art all in the same place. Again, unfortunately, destroyed by earthquakes in the 12th to 15th century AD, though, so it did last for almost to the 1400s. But
wow!
But it was unfortunately destroyed by earthquakes. Another wonder was the Temple of Artemis. The temple was erected to Artemis, the twin sister of Apollo, and it was originally constructed in the 7th century BC. And it was destroyed and rebuilt 3 times, each time being rebuilt more and more beautiful, more bigger, more gold, more everything each time, until finally it was destroyed in 401 AD, and it was never rebuilt again. It was 450 feet long, 220 feet wide, and 61 feet tall. It was adorned with gold and silver and paintings and reliefs from all over the world. So it was like a museum almost in itself. And it's so famous that it appears multiple times in the Bible. In the New Testament, they talk about going to this temple and interacting with people at this site. So it was super famous and very revered in the ancient world. One of the most mysterious of the 7 wonders was the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. This is the ruins of the Temple of Artemis.
Not much is left to these things. It's sad, man.
Yeah. The time just goes on, and things can't stand the test of it sometimes. Yeah. But here's the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. They were supposedly tiered, massive gardens that existed near the fabled Tower of Babel, which is out in the background there. Yet the true location of the Tower of Babel and the Hanging Gardens, and even the true location of even if it existed, has been contested forever.
So we don't even know if this place actually existed.
There is no archaeological evidence that this place even existed. Yet there is lots of
I thought that was strange, because the Tower of Babylon is like, we don't actually know. Or even if that existed.
There is a lot of writings about that. I mean, the Tower of Babel appears in the Bible. There is a lot of writings about the Hanging Gardens that people believe it was constructed between 605 and 562 BC by the Neo-Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar II. And even though there's no archaeological evidence, some people do believe that it did exist, and we just have it just weathered away to nothing, because it was basically a garden.
I mean, you see garden. what's left of everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see why this would be any different.
There are old tablets, old hieroglyphics that do depict something along the lines of this, but we just have no evidence of it. So it's one of those 7 wonders that just could be nothing, could be something. Who knows? And finally, the only one that still exists in the most intact way possible,
which is the oldest, right?
It's the oldest. It is the Great Pyramid of Giza. Archaeologists believe that this pyramid was constructed in the 10 to 20 year period concluding around 2560 BC. That's over 4,000 years ago that this was constructed and completed. It's 481 feet tall, and it was the tallest man-made structure in the world for 3,800 years before the Industrial Revolution, and we started to build skyscrapers.
Wow.
It was the tallest building in the world.
Wow.
It's the only wonder to remain intact. And there's still tons of mystery.
And here's the thing, this will be around after all those skyscrapers have fallen.
Totally.
That's an insane thought.
We still don't know the true purpose of it. We still don't know
how they built it.
We still don't know even
what's
a lot
in there.
A lot of the mysteries of what's in there, because we just last year found a brand new area.
I have to know.
I know. Hopefully in our lifetime we will find that out.
We'll never truly know.
No, we might not.
Just unless we learn a way to access DNA memories. Something we'll never truly know. Yeah, time travel, something.
Yeah.
Oh, it just blows my mind. It's so scary to dig in with your thoughts and like.
I know.
Okay, move.
So back to the tablet that was found at the Temple of Zeus. This tablet seen here was thought to be inscribed around 200 to 300 A.D., and it contains 13 verses of the 14th book of the epic poem. Now, the Odyssey is organized into 24 books, and it's one of two major works attributed to the very famous Homer, the other being the Iliad. And these works are literally the beginning of ancient recorded literature and have influenced so much storytelling. In fact, if you ever had to read any of the Odyssey for, high school or junior high or whatever, you probably know that a lot of those story ideas and story tropes just pop up everywhere. In fact, the most probably best modern version of this is "O Brother, Where Art Thou?" That is
really?
literally the Odyssey, but just told in that form.
Why do I just not want to watch that movie so hard? I don't know. But that makes me want to watch
very
it a little
good.
bit.
It's a very good movie.
That's so weird.
The Odyssey is thought to have been written in 625 to 725 BC, and it would have been performed as oral tradition. That was the time, when Greeks were putting a lot of their stuff down in clay tablets and stuff like that. But they would get together in like a Colosseum type thing, and someone would just, for a couple hours recite this poem, which would probably be the most entertaining thing ever back then. What are you gonna? What else are you gonna do?
Carve stone?
Yeah, right.
Jeez.
The poem follows Odysseus, or Ulysses in the Roman version, who has wandered for 10 years trying to get home to reclaim his throne as king of Ithaca, following the Trojan War. And it's a great, great story. I highly recommend at least going down the rabbit hole of the Wikipedia page or Cliff Notes of the Odyssey. Or if you're really, really ambitious, read all 24 books of it. It's 12,000 lines of a poem, and
wow.
It just goes and goes and goes. Homer was the father of literature, basically, and it's pretty cool. And it's pretty cool that we're still finding this is the oldest version of this story we've ever found.
So, there still could be tons of versions that we don't even know about.
Yeah, but a lot of them, like I said, were never written down. They were just passed on orally by, from, playwright to playwright or whatever. So
wow.
Pretty
That's
cool.
incredible.
Yeah. All right, guys, it's time for Death Star of the Week again. And this week is a very special guest, Mr. Tom Bolda. Tom has been a fan of this company since the beginning. He's also made some cool apparel that he wears to his soccer practice and stuff like that you'll see in the video. And if you've never met Tom over on that official Death Wish Coffee Company community page on Facebook, you're going to meet him in this segment right here. Where or when was the first time you heard about Death Wish Coffee?
The first time I was at my brother's house, and he was talking about it because we were just, for some reason, he was a big coffee drinker too, and neither one of us were fans of the big 3-pound cans. And it was maybe a couple months after that I was on working midnight shifts, and I needed something other than the 3-pound Folgers brand, which tasted like dirt.
Yeah.
And did some searching and found it and thought, well, let's give this a shot. And made my first order, and that was probably late 2014.
Oh, wow. So you've been a fan of the company for a while now.
Oh yeah.
In fact, I gotta compliment you on that kick-ass Adidas shirt you're wearing.
You like that?
Yeah. Did you do that yourself?
The guy I coach soccer with does them, so I've got like 4 of them.
Wow, that's awesome.
I got a black one with the white regular logo.
Yeah.
This one, I got a white one with the logo in green, and then a orangish one with Day of the Dead on it.
Oh, cool. Very cool. Very cool. So I got to ask then, as a fan of coffee, and especially being a fan of this company since 2014, what does coffee fuel you to do? What's your normal day job?
Well, my normal day job is I've been a public safety officer for 23 years, which means police and fire. For the last couple of years, I was promoted to lieutenant, so I kind of help with the day-to-day stuff, making sure guys got what they need, making sure they're getting their stuff done, answering public questions, dealing with all that kind of stuff. Still go out on patrol now and then, which surprises some of the younger guys, but I'm still out there.
Yeah. Well, in that field of work, and thank you for doing everything you do in that field of work, I know coffee comes in very handy.
Oh yes, it got me through many a night shifts.
Yeah,
because we do 12-hour night shifts, so it was a 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Oh man, What's your preferred method of brewing? How do you brew?
When I'm home, it's always the Chemex. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
At work in my office, I have a coffee pot that I do set every day. So when I walk in, open my office door, my coffee is ready, and that's all I smell from the first thing is just a big whiff of coffee.
Yeah. How much coffee you think you drink in a day?
I would say I'm at least a pot, sometimes more depending on the day.
Oh, wow. And I don't think I asked this. Where are you based?
I am actually, we're in Michigan.
Michigan.
And I am in the Upper Peninsula. I'm right on the Wisconsin border.
Oh, wow. So you're up there.
Oh, yeah. Well, the middle of May, we had 15 inches of snow.
Oh, man. Yeah, I was going to say, us in upstate New York, we know a thing or two about snow, too. So
Yes, you guys do.
we know. Well, and that's why I'm glad that, sometimes we come out with the warmer apparel here at Death Wish, which is nice, like hoodies and socks and hats and things.
Oh, yes. my son stole my knitted hat, so I had to track down a second one.
Oh, yeah. And hopefully we'll be doing more. I'm fingers crossed. So, as a fan of the company, I know you're also a fan of the mugs. And
I am.
I love asking this question. What was the first mug you got from Death Wish? There,
right
the
there.
OG. Look at that.
That was my first order was a pound of coffee, that mug, the first hat like you're wearing, but the first one.
Yeah.
That was, I guess it was more fitted.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had the first travel mug.
Oh, wow.
So that was my first order.
And how big is your collection now? Are you one of those who has a full collection out there?
I would say I think I'm like 3 mugs away from a full.
Wow.
I don't have the Red Ricky.
That
I
one's
don't
tough.
have the cream color Valhalla.
Yeah, that's another tough one.
Yes. I didn't get the Valentines this year.
Uh-huh.
That was, for some reason I didn't get those ones. But other than that, I got them all.
Oh yeah.
In fact, my one drawback is I have the first Valhalla that you guys made, but I went to a Zakk Wylde concert and had him sign it.
Oh, awesome.
So now I don't drink out of it because I'm afraid the signature's going to come off the bottom.
Totally. I totally see that. Zach's the best. I'm so glad that we're able to work with someone as cool as that.
Oh, he was. We did the meet and greet with him, and he came walking out right behind where we were, and I just turned around. He came over and gave me a big hug. Just boom, hug.
That's so awesome. And I guess that could be the answer to this question is your signed Valhalla Java mug, but do you have a favorite mug in your collection? And this isn't a loaded question. This could be a mug that's not a Death Wish.
No, honestly, this original one, the style is by far my favorite. I use it all the time.
Yeah.
I do have a couple that I have since lost because my wife has stolen them.
Oh.
I have the Deathmore, and as soon as it came in the mail, she's like, "That one's mine. You can't have it." But this one, and then obviously this one's a treasure
Beast.
right there.
Yes.
So, but I would say that one is by far my favorite.
That's cool.
So
you are a big part of our online community, a huge proponent of, telling everybody about Death Wish, one of our biggest ambassadors. And you've seen us, rise from nothing to go to the Super Bowl. You were one of the ones that helped us go to the Super Bowl and everything. And I love asking this question. Is there something that we haven't done yet that you'd like to see us do? It could be a mug design. It could be an event to sponsor. Is there something that you'd like to see Death Wish try next?
Well, honestly, this is what I'd like to see you guys do.
Yes.
You guys have done the bike jerseys and the baseball. It would have been really cool to come out now during the World Cup. I know Timmy Medley would have been in with me on that.
Totally.
The only other thing, and I have to make my own, Death Wish is usually before I go to the gym. I drink a cup. I would love to have a water bottle or something like that I can take to the gym.
Oh, that's a good idea. I've never heard that one before. That's a good idea.
Because I have the duffel, and that's my gym bag.
Yeah.
So it goes all the time because I love the separate compartment I throw my shoes in. So that goes with me to the gym all the time. So it would be, I bought myself a Clean Canteen water bottle, slapped a sticker on it.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Timmy sent me some stickers, and I changed mine up a little bit, put a new sticker on it the other day. So
nice. Yeah, no, that's a really good idea. I love. That's why I asked this question because we're always trying to think of new things to do. in the coming years and stuff like that. And going back to your shirt too, not only would it be cool to do something as a soccer jersey, but also to work with a company like Adidas would be amazing. I never thought that, like you said, you got our original baseball hat, and that was just a small company that we went with, and now we're making these with New Era, and I never thought in a million years we'd be working with a company like that. So who knows? Maybe in the future we'll do something with Adidas, and we'll make.
There we go. If not, I'll just keep buying jerseys and making my own, I guess.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I can't thank people like you enough for what you do for this company, and that's why we love having you on, so everyone else out there that are watching the show can meet you. And I always end by just saying, if you're not a fan of the official Death Wish Coffee Company community page, get on over there. You're one of the admins, right?
You know what? I was for the longest time. I got a little, I got, life got so busy that I wasn't putting in what I should be, so I just kind of stepped back for a while. But I still help as much as I can.
Hey, it's hard keeping track of all of you over there because you're all positive and awesome and constantly posting about the company and everything and the coffee and all that stuff. So I feel like everybody's an admin when I go.
Oh yeah, it's great. Sure. And in the last 8 months or so, there's been such a huge influx of new people, and they see some of the old mugs and they're like, "Where did that one come from?"
Yeah.
So
it's fun.
Like the second version of the original, the gray and black. I had a picture of that one the other day, and I had a lot of people going, "Oh, I love that. That's the one I wanted. I wanted that one." So
that's awesome.
But I remember when these mugs were on your websites forever.
Yeah.
And I told people before, I passed up on that Valhalla mug. I don't know how many times, for months.
Yeah.
And finally, I'm like, now I'm going to get it. And now it's crazy. You can't find them.
Cannot find them. It's crazy. Last question then, speaking of mugs, any mug idea that we haven't done that you'd want to see?
I like the simplicity of these old mugs.
Yeah.
I really do. I'm not real happy that Dean got rid of that flat matte black.
Us either. We missed that flat matte black.
I love that. Yeah, I like the simple mugs.
To the simple. All right.
I do.
We might have some stuff in store for that. We're already starting to plan out next year as well, and so that's why we love hearing from the community.
Sweet.
Once again, thank you so much for talking with us today. And
absolutely,
it was great.
The Fueled by Death guest.
All right, guys, we've been really excited to give you this guest. It's somebody that we've been friends with for a while, and he's an incredible creative force in the world, Dean Haspiel. This guy is not only a comic book artist and writer, double threat, he's also a playwright. He's also an Emmy Award-winning artist for the series Bored to Death on HBO. This guy just won't stop creating amazing things.
Nor should he stop, because not only is he an amazing creator, he's an amazing person. And it was just so awesome to talk to him, sit down and break down everything that he's up to, the way he creates, the way he thinks about things, his thoughts on New York City.
Yeah.
Everything was incredible about this conversation.
Yeah.
And Dean's such a blast to talk to.
And we talk about what it was like working for some of the biggest publishers out there in the comic book industry, and also publishing his own material. Some of the coolest stories out there right now, which you can find, including The Red Hook and his brand new War Cry, where the city of Brooklyn actually becomes a character, which is absolutely just imaginative and awesome. We also talk about writing plays, the state of the comic book industry, and just have a genuine fun time with Dean because we love him to death. And hopefully you will too. And that's the episode tomorrow, but I got a sneak peek of that right here.
So he's suddenly made this superhero, where this character, the Green Point, is dying. You have to read the story to get, all the information.
Right.
And the closest person to him is like one of his enemies.
Right.
And he's like, well, I have to pass on my altruism to somebody.
Yeah.
So he punches him in the chest, grabs his heart, and that is the Omni Fist right there. Cuts off his hand, repairs him, and he's like, basically, it's like if this guy walks past any danger or a crime being committed, his hand will start to squeeze his heart,
right,
killing him. So this like makes him have to do good things. Kind of like he even says is to be good for goodness sake, almost like a Santa Claus superhero, you know, like. And he's like, "What the hell just happened to me?" And this is during a time where Brooklyn reveals herself to be sentient, and she's heartbroken by the indifference and apathy of the world, and decides to physically and literally secede from New York City, ergo America, to start her own republic, where there's a pandemic of new heroes and villains that rise from this kind of cosmic, scorched earth thing that happens. Also, and this is where I get to fantasize, and we can talk about Brooklyn, is where art can be traded and bartered for food and services.
Oh.
So it's a little hippy-dippy in that way, you know? A little socialist maybe, you know, somewhat. But I figure because of like the Jack Kirby comics I grew up on, or like the TV shows like Star Trek, where we suddenly had flip phones and we have cell phones that was on Star Trek, or the Mother Box or whatever from Jack Kirby comics. I figure you put stuff out there that might seem at first absurd and ridiculous, but then little by small they become real.
Yeah.
You know, they're prescient. These comics are prescient. You know, I mean, art is prescient, you know? And in my case, I write and draw comic books, and I love comic books, so that's where I've been noticing it, you know? You put something out there, and little by small, it happens later, you know? Or it occurs. And because I don't know how science and technology works necessarily, but maybe if you just seed the brain with something.
Yes.
You know?
Happy birthday! Surprise! I'm naked.
All right, it's birthday time. We got some fun birthdays this week. First up on Friday, July 20th. Oh, God, one of the best musicians out there. One of the best guitarists out there for sure. Mr. Carlos Santana is going to turn 71 years old. Multi-Grammy Award winner. Has done so much since, God, the 60s.
Yeah, it's incredible that he reignited his career with just that one album of just hit after hit after hit after hit after hit.
Supernatural.
So crazy, man.
Came back around, reinvented himself, and to kind of throw it back to this show right here, friend of the show who we've had on this show twice, he did the song Maria Maria with Wyclef Jean. And we talk about that on the episode that we had Wyclef on. We talk about working with Carlos and all that. And if you listen to the first time that Wyclef was on the show, Wyclef actually breaks the news when DJ Khaled called Wyclef Jean and asked him and Carlos Santana for permission to use Maria Maria for the Rihanna track Wild Thoughts.
Crazy.
Which is crazy how all that kind of comes together. Really, really cool. So happy birthday to Carlos on Friday. On Sunday, July 22nd, one of my favorite comedic actors out there, Mr. David Spade.
You're finally turning 54, Jeff.
Which a lot of people said I kind of look like David Spade. Yeah, he's turning 54. Obviously, you know him from Saturday Night Live, from the TV show Just Shoot Me, from the #1 movie in America right now, Hotel Transylvania.
What, really?
Yeah, he voices a voice in that whole series as well.
#1 movie in America, huh?
Yep.
How?
And it was a slow week. And one of my favorite movies of all time, guys. All time. I watch this movie at least twice a year. Tommy Boy.
Roads.
Rudes. I love this movie so much. Him and Chris Farley were just a comedic force, and R.I.P. Chris Farley forever. But
we got cut short on some more great movies from those two. I truly believe it. What a great team.
What a great team. I love Tommy Boy. And the ill-fated kind of sequel, not really, but Black Sheep. But
so good.
So good as well. Gary Busey, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong.
So good.
On Monday, we got a pair of birthdays. Two icons. One of the movies out there. July 23rd, turning 29 years old, Mr. Daniel Radcliffe. He has really made a career for himself after being pigeonholed for 8 years.
Yeah.
Starting out, and here he is as a baby. You probably remember him as Harry Potter. There he is in the first Harry Potter movie when he was 11 years old.
Wow.
He was in those movies for like 10 years of his life. And, you know, that's always a worry thing as a child actor. Like, I'm known as Harry Potter for 10 years. Can I make it in the world?
He's done it, man. That's proof that you can do it, because if there's anybody who was pigeonholed any harder, I don't know of them.
Yeah.
And he had no problem transitioning into an actual awesome acting career that is just it's versatile,
Yeah,
man.
he's done some drama. He's done some comedy. I'm very excited to see where he takes his career now because he's young. He's 29 years old. He's got tons and tons of roles left in him.
It's funny how we think 29 is young now.
It'll be interesting to see where he goes. But also on Monday, July 23rd, an icon of the stage, and I mean the rock and roll stage, that is Slash. 53 years old he's turning, and you probably don't know his real name is Saul.
Oh.
Saul Hudson right there.
Saul.
I'm glad he changed his name to Slash. Obviously, Slash is known for starting in 1985 the band Guns N' Roses with Axl Rose. And like 6 Ways of Separation to Fueled by Deathcast again. We actually talked a lot about Slash returning to Guns N' Roses with the other guitarist from Guns N' Roses, Mr. Richard Fortus, and there he is right there. We had Richard Fortus back on, I believe, in the 20s of this episode. I don't remember which episode it was.
Yeah. But, a while back, we brought him and the rest of the gang from
coffee.
Guns N' Roses, a bunch of coffee and a bunch of apparel and stuff like that. And shortly after, Richard sent me a photo of Slash wearing a Death Wish shirt, just be like, "Here, I thought you would think this is cool. Don't share it."
Yeah,
because it's just kind of a candid shot
and
of Slash doing
they're
his
very
thing.
private with their stuff,
Yeah.
and so we respect that. But
there's a picture somewhere with Slash wearing a Death Wish coffee shirt.
Speaking of Slash, though, and also to throw it back, we also talk about him on our awesome episode with Dave Kushner from when they were both in the band Velvet Revolver. So all I'm saying is someday we're going to get Slash on this show.
Slash, if you're listening to this, I'm sure you're not, but if you are, Fueled by Deathcast is calling on you.
Yeah, we'd love to talk to you. Finally, on Tuesday, July 24th, Wonder Woman herself, Linda Carter, is turning a young 67 years old. She's still gorgeous. She is the original Wonder Woman. There she is from her television show. That was the inception of putting a female superhero on the screen. And she paved the way for everybody now. You know, the Black Widow's out there. The Wonder Woman of today. In fact, I have a photo. The final photo here is Linda and Gal Gadot next to each other on the red carpet for the blockbuster DC Comics hit, Wonder Woman the movie, which I believe they're filming this. They're starting to film the sequel of.
Look at all the little Wonder Womans behind them.
It's adorable. It's adorable. So a happy birthday to Linda.
I smell a roast.
All right, D-Man. So before we get into the roast, I just want to take a minute and tell you guys, keep sharing this episode. If you're watching it live, drop a comment if you haven't yet. We're going to pick one lucky comment to win this mug at the end of the show. It's the old man winner. Maybe it'll cool you down a little bit in these hot summer nights. But one lucky winner will get this mug. So just share and comment. It's that easy. But yeah, the roast this week is a trend I didn't even know existed. It popped up in my newsfeed as a random thing, and I was like, that's not real. And I went and looked it up, and it's freaking real.
Oh, no.
It's this trend called raw water. I didn't stutter. Raw water.
Like from a tap?
What the fuck? No, not a tap. From a stream or a spring. Raw water. This trend started recently and simply put is the act of drinking unfiltered, unsterilized, and untreated water. It's funny because we have a bunch of that right in our backyard. We are in upstate New York. We are both from Saratoga Springs, New York. It's not just a pretty name. Saratoga Springs is named that because we have a ton of springs, and people come from all over the world to taste our
raw water.
Our raw water that smells
so
like
raw.
rotten eggs.
Yeah. Yeah. We used to take hits off the sulfur.
Off the sulfur springs. Yeah,
It
yeah.
gets you real dizzy, man. Kids are dumb.
Have fun, kids. Go do that. But for real, though, tourists come from all over because for centuries they've been coming to Saratoga Springs because it's been thought that our springs have healing powers. I mean, the Lincoln baths, you know, like you go and you bathe yourselves in these spring waters and, you know, you're supposed to invigorate you, this raw water. Well, regardless, that's just fine, you know, all fine and good. And you can consume a little bit of it, try it, it's fine. You know, it doesn't taste that great. But
It doesn't taste good at all.
You should give it a shot.
Apparently cures hangovers is what I heard.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
You should give it a shot. But now people are consuming this as an alternative to tap water because tap water contains fluoride. And because there's a conspiracy out there that fluoride is bad for you and will control your mind.
It calcifies your pituitary gland. Is that it?
That's
your
brain meat.
Your penile gland. What is it?
Nope, that's down there. Your brain meat. It calcifies your brain meat. Seriously,
pineal
guys.
gland. It calcifies your pineal gland.
Seriously, guys, this is drinking raw water. This is what they're talking about. People believe that Hitler used fluoride to pacify the Jewish people. That's not true, even in the least. Sorry. Also, they believe it can harm or block your third eye.
Yeah, which is the pineal gland. That's what I was bringing up.
It doesn't. I'm sorry. It doesn't. What fluoride does do is it promotes dental health, helps your teeth, and it also helps because, unfortunately, we as a society decided early on, because it was cheap, let's make a water infrastructure out of lead. So unfortunately, there still is some of that water structure, and fluoride helps to combat that. And take some of that lead out of the thing. Now, water has been treated for years because unfiltered, untreated, and unsterilized water can contain bacteria that can cause things like typhoid or cholera or dysentery. Remember playing frickin' Oregon Trail and dying of dysentery?
Which is pretty much dying of shitting yourself.
Right. It's terrible. And it can happen if you're just constantly consuming unfiltered, raw water. Now,
I hate that term so much.
Businesses have been cropping up to make a buck on this now. There's a business out there called Live Water or Live Water, however you want to pronounce it. It's selling raw water for exorbitant prices. The lowest you can get is 4 jugs, 2.5-gallon jugs, at $16 a piece. But wait, if you buy more, you save. So if you can buy up to 12 2.5-gallon jugs, and now it's only $13 a piece. $13.
I gotta say, I have noticed the lines for filling up your jugs of water at the Saratoga Springs in the park.
Yeah,
have been giant.
That always happens in the summertime, though.
Yeah, Usually, I go there late at night when there's nobody there because everybody and their jerk friend is standing by that thing. I can't stand it.
Yeah. Some companies are charging up to $60 a jug for a jug of water, people. Now, look. I'm not saying that we don't have our water problems. There are still lead pipes out there in our infrastructure. Look at Flint, Michigan, who's been dealing with contaminated, tainted water for years now, and it's terrible, and I really hope that Elon Musk helps them out.
Yeah.
Like he said he's going to. But, I mean, that doesn't mean that you should swear off tap water and only drink raw water.
I can see this coming. No, I don't drink tap water. I only drink raw. Do you have raw water?
Ugh. These are the same people out there that are like, I'm not vaccinating my kids because vaccinations create autism. Or, I'm not listening to NASA because the earth is flat. Seriously, people. Again, it's not bad to drink unfiltered water from time to time, but don't make it a staple. Don't make it the only thing you drink. First of all, you're going to break your bank.
Yeah.
Second of all, you're probably going to get really sick.
Yeah.
It really is. A good alternative, filter your own water.
Yep.
There are great water filtration systems out there that are charcoal based or however based
and they
you
work.
Want to do it.
They
and
work
they
great.
Super work. And that way you can get your raw water if you want, or your tap water, or whatever you want, and you can filter that and you can drink it that way. But seriously, don't go down this route. It's really scary, and it can really affect your health, and that's bad. You don't want to die of dysentery. I mean, it's funny in Oregon Trail, but like you said, you're gonna poop yourself to death.
It's not funny.
It's not funny at all. So I had to roast that because I had never heard of this raw water trend.
Yeah,
You know where it's big? Guess where it's big? In America.
California.
Yep.
Oh, nailed it.
Yep. Yeah, right on the banks of California there, you got a bunch of people who just don't know any better.
I heard that they put up signs on their beaches saying that it causes cancer because of silica. Do you know what silica is, Jeff? Sand.
So sand causes cancer?
Sand causes cancer. So much so that they have to put up signs saying that it gives you cancer. California. We should have been roasting California. California, get your shit together.
Can we rename it Cancerfornia? Cancerphoria? Hashtag cancer for you, California.
And I mean, not to go off in too much of a tangent, but now we're dealing with Prop 65. Have you heard of this yet?
I have. I'm sure. Have you guys heard of Prop 65?
So pretty much they're trying to make anything that's roasted,
yes,
saying that it causes cancer. Now they're trying to do this with coffee.
Yeah.
But the health benefits of coffee are so vast that they're having the most difficult time even just making this statement, which is just utterly ridiculous.
Yeah.
Utterly ridiculous. California, get your shit together. What is going on over there? What are you doing? Too much raw water, man. They're not thinking straight.
Too much raw water.
Jesus.
No raw water, people. I mean, in moderation, but don't.
I thought I liked California. What are you doing over there?
I don't know.
That's it. That's all I got.
D-Man's Death Wish Update. Brought to you by Death Wish Coffee.
We've got weapons!
Weapons!
It's my favorite.
So, guys, like I said, I've been trying to tell you guys, go on over to deathwishcoffee.com/contests. If you're not subscribed to the newsletter, go subscribe to the newsletter. You're watching the show. Those are two great ways to find out about new products coming out. But contests is where you find out cool stuff. And we got a contest running right now with this amazing company, Cold Steel. They make knives. They make axes. And this is called a Warhawk. And we're giving them one away. All you got to do is go on over to that URL, that right there, and you can enter to win. There's multiple chances to enter. And you can enter every day, and we're going to pick a winner.
Watch your hand, Jeff.
God. Oh, God. Here you go.
Wait.
This might be the end of the podcast, everybody. We might actually break the table.
Watch your toes.
And all of the equipment here.
I missed. Wait, Jeff, put your hand on. Oh.
We cut this though, so that's good. I'm glad you cut the tablecloth. Yeah. But if you guys can't see, and I'll put a picture of it up, but if you can't see it, it is marked with the Death Wish Coffee logo on either side. This one's worn because we had to test it out a little bit.
I love Jeff, but sweet and high. Whoop, Mr. Motorama Coffee.
Death Wish Coffee presents Fueled by Deathcast, the world's strongest podcast.
But you're going to get a brand new one just for entering.
It is sharp and pointy and just...
And I'm telling you something,
man.
I'm telling you something. The response for this contest has been bonkers. The amount of people who are loving the idea of a Cold Steel product branded with Death Wish Coffee. This is why we do these contests, guys. We just might, maybe, do the product for real.
Whoa, man.
I mean, it would be a lot of red tape and contracts and that kind of stuff, but maybe. The response has been so good that maybe, because it seems like people would buy something like this, not just want to win one.
Maybe shortly afterwards we can come out with a flamethrower too. That would be awesome.
Look at you, Elon Musk.
We're coming for you.
But yeah, so once again, deathwishcoffee.com/contests. You can enter that and all of our contests every single week, and you can see some new products and some new cool things that we're doing that you can get your hands on. One lucky person's going to get this. That's crazy.
So speaking of new products, Jeff, we have an awesome towel coming.
Yes.
Do we have what? Did we grab one?
No, I don't have a one. Hopefully, maybe I'll have a picture that I can show. But tomorrow, guys, our beach towel is out. And we're really excited because it's prime summer. I mean, why not be the most badass motherfucker on the beach?
It's awesome. And on top of that, I mean, I tested this thoroughly myself. I brought it home. I washed it multiple times. All the wording, all the logos stay really nice, and the towel just gets softer. It's really high quality. Thomas held no punches on this one bag. It's awesome.
And this is what I keep envisioning, is laying out your towel like you normally would on your beach, right? And going in the ocean or the lake or the stream or wherever you are and going swimming. And when you come back, it's a jet black towel. This is going to be a nice, hot, warm towel to just, complete. You're going to dry off in a second.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. So make sure you get that. And that's not all. That's not all.
But wait, there's more. For every purchase tomorrow, you will get a free pair of Death Wish sunglasses and their own custom box. I can't wait, Jeff.
And this is a super freebie. A lot of people have been asking about how we've been doing, add-ons and freebies and stuff like that. We're back to normal freebie with these, right?
Yeah.
So all the rules apply. So that means any purchase that beach towel, free glasses. Purchase a pound of coffee, free glasses. Purchase a gift card, free glasses. Are you a subscriber?
You'll get those free glasses in your next subscription order. How cool is that?
How cool is that?
But on top of that, I gotta say, I sourced these sunglasses myself.
Yeah.
They're a little bit nicer than the last ones.
I honestly think they're a little bit nicer. It's the same Wayfair style. The only difference is that they say Death Wish Coffee now on both sides instead of the logo on one and Death Wish on the other. You look stylish in them, and I think they're a little bit nicer too. I put on the old ones from last year, the new ones from this year, and I think they're just slightly tinted a little bit better.
Yep.
They're a little bit more comfortable. It's a better made product.
You can feel it. They feel a bit thicker and more sturdy. I don't know what it is. I mean,
I'm not a
I
sunglass
can't imagine.
maker.
I'm not a plastic person either.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot that goes into that, but they're nicer.
They are nicer, and that's all tomorrow, guys.
So exciting.
Thursday.
It's so
Get
exciting.
on it.
Oh my
And
God.
all you got to do, like I said, subscribe to the newsletter, watch the show every week for the update. You're going to know about all this cool stuff. We got a hell of a lot more cool stuff coming up. And if you haven't been following us on social media, just to let you guys know, the entire warehouse has smelled like freaking pumpkins lately.
Oh, it's coming.
So it's coming. That delicious seasonal blend that you guys love so much, we're making a lot of it.
Ooh, and I'll tell you a little secret.
Secret. You ready? You ready for the secret?
We're making it ground.
There it is.
We're grinding it for you. So if
Two
you don't have a
versions.
grinder and if you want to just dump it into your coffee machine and drink that delicious Cauldron Age pumpkin awesomeness, we have that available for you this year. And lots of it. And also for you people who love the beans, we are still doing that.
So get ready for that. It's still a couple months away, but it's coming.
It's being roasted. Oh God, it smells like French toast, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I forgot I do the Death
Yeah.
Proof coffee with it, and it tastes straight up like buttered French toast.
We should do a recipe video for that when we've got the fresh beans. We'll do that for you. We'll do a recipe, a bulletproof coffee recipe video of the way that Dustin does it with the Cauldron Age pumpkin coffee, because he's right. It tastes exactly like French toast. And I want you guys to be able to make the same thing at home.
Put a tiny little bit of maple syrup in there.
Yep.
Put a tiny little bit of vanilla extract in
Yeah.
there.
We'll make
it's like it's unreal. It's
Yeah.
unreal, man.
We'll do that video for you guys. And tune in next week for more news from Death Wish Coffee right here on The Update. And that's the show, guys. Thank you so much for watching the show. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for commenting. We love doing this show for you guys. We really do. Don't forget, tomorrow, the brand new podcast, episode 83, with comic book artist, comic book writer, playwright, Emmy Award-winning artist, Dean Haspiel, who's going to be at San Diego Comic-Con. You can go.
That's cool. He's gonna be at San Diego.
Yeah, you can go visit him if you want to see him out there. He's on the show. We had such a great time talking with him. You can go to that tomorrow right at the link that I'm putting up. And one final time, give us a follow. Give us a follow on social media. We'd love for you guys to be our social media friends as well, and you can see all the cool stuff that we post. It's very easy to follow us. I am at Jeff Wish Coffee.
And I am at John Swedish. We're gonna get him followers,
We're gonna
whether
get
he
him
likes it or not.
We're gonna
People
get him
go over to
followers.
Instagram, follow John Swedish. It's private, but just keep on nailing him, man. He'll accept you eventually.
Eventually. All right,
but if
guys.
you actually want to follow me, I'm at DeathWishDustin.
That easy. Thank you so much for being fans of the show, for watching the show, telling all your friends about it. We'll be back next week with a brand new show. Goodbye, everybody.
Cheers.
This has been Fueled by Deathcast, a Death Wish Coffee Company podcast production. Thanks for listening.